How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek. Welcome back to the channel, and as ever, I'm joined by my best pals on the YouTube and in real life. We've got Efren. How are you, Efren?
I'm doing fine, guys. Any day I get to hang out with you guys, especially this day, we're going to be talking about 1995. I can't wait. I'm always happy to see you guys.
1995, Efren. 1995. I mean, that's like not that long ago. You must be a child if you were born around 1995, Mr. Keegan. Is that right?
It is just nice to do a year that I was alive for, finally. And like we are yet to do a show where I have like any first-hand info like of things that happened. So this was a special year.
I remember 1995. So we're going to get to it in a minute. There's loads to talk about. There's some great stuff that happened in 1995. Obviously, your year of birth, Mr. Keegan.
Absolutely, it was an early one. I got to enjoy the whole year. I'm January 11th, so just turned 30 there last week.
30 years. Do you remember your 30s, Efren?
I was 35 years old when James was born, just to let you know.
Yes. So I'm not yet the age you were. So potentially my future YouTube best friend is going to be born in 5 years, potentially.
Yes, potentially. That's true. True. Very true. I don't remember nothing about 1990. The 90s were just like, whatever.
Yeah. God. Anyway, chaps, let's see who we've got in the comments before we crack on. We've got Alex. Alex was on the Geek Week review show last night. Nice to see you, Alex. Hello, do you remember me from yesterday? I do. Alex commented at 8:30 this morning, I think, or last night. I'm not sure. Yeah, nice to see you, Alex.
Welcome.
We've got Terry. Nice to see you, Terry. I hope you are well, bud. We've got Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Woo, my favourite show. Good stuff, Fuzzy. I'm enjoying this one, I have to say.
He's previously said that One Good Scare was his favourite show. So Fuzzy, you wanna
He means on this channel. I'm sure he means on this channel. Yeah.
It's not a high bar, really, though, is it? Like,
Fuzzy, just wanted to tip of that hat, Fuzzy. Massive thank you. Fuzzy sent me some fantastic comics. I really appreciate that, Fuzzy. I appreciate more the letter you sent with it, mate. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. We've got Wayne. Hello, you lovely lot. And James, thank you. Nice to see you, Wayne. Always good to see you. 85, I was 11. We're talking 95 tonight, so you'll be 21, mate. Fuzzy, slap on some Cotton Eye Joe.
Love a bit of Cotton Eye Joe.
Hear it, mate. Are you aware of Cotton Eye Joe, Efren? Are you aware of Cotton Eye Joe?
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from?
Cotton Eye Joe. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you hear that? Where did you
It was a bopper in the clubs at the time.
I gotta go, guys. I'll see you later.
Can't believe you've never sang. Oh, anyway, shiny. I was 4. Wow. Fuzzy, it's my favorite Tuesday show. Nicely done, Fuzzy. Fair Nicely done. I like it. 95 is so close to being the best year. 97 is obviously. Were you born in 97, Connie? Wow.
Thought she was older.
That's. I thought you were younger, Connie. Dead man, I was a youngster at 38 years old. Wow, Terry, ancient, mate. I mean that in the nicest possible way, but Craigie. Bloody eyesight is going. I wasn't born in 95. I was -2. Okie dokie, guys. Let's crack on because we've got tons to talk about tonight. If it's the first time watching this show, this is the show where we take a look at all of the geeky happenings in a particular year. Tonight we're doing 1995, and we're going to be looking at. I'm just noticing Connie saying, Keegan, days are numbered. Watch yourself at Thought Bubble Gym.
Yep.
So we're going to be talking about movies. We're going to be talking about comics, games, TV, toys. And because I liked it last time, guys, I've added just a couple of slides on foods from the 1995s as well. Just to have a bit of a chat about that. But as we said, it is Mr. Keegan's year of birth. Look at the state of that.
That's me.
Look at those little.
Even back
chuds.
then, I was round and had a big head. So, yeah, that's. I think that would be Christmas when I was 1. I'm guessing. So it was 1. It's my sister and it's my family there, and the other one.
Yeah. Do you know what strikes us most about this picture?
What?
If you were to have a shave, how much you look like your mum?
Oh, my mom. Oh, yeah. I am 100%. halfway between my mom and dad, like in terms of looks, like 100%. And like they'd only be 5 years older than I am now in that photo. So yeah, the resemblance is there. They're definitely my parents.
I'm that's
nice to know.
fuzzy as usual. No wallpaper island. Yeah. It's hard times, Fuzzy.
We're a bit behind on the times. White makes the room look bigger, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice to see you, Luke. Hope you're well. And we've got Phil, textured wallpaper, I'm sure. Yeah. Hard times. But yeah, some cutie images there. And then we've got a few more. We've got now there's that trademark hair coming out, isn't it?
That's it. My luscious locks. I actually remember the Halloween when I was dressed as a Viking. I remember like little flashes of that. So see, like I found that photo, I was like, wow, yeah, I remember that. So yeah. But like also this photo on the left, look how cute I am. Like, I'm fucking adorable. I was a cute kid. I was a horrible looking baby. But I'm adorable there.
I'm not sure I would say that. But
okay.
It is nice.
With Santa. I would assume I'm about 3.
About 3 years old. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. I mean, Ephraim, when we did your shit, I can't remember. Did they have cameras back when you were this age? Or was it like a brass ribbon or was it a statue?
It's like TVs or just black and white cameras.
It's black and white. Yeah. Is that a perm at that age?
I got my curls, man. You know, I like to keep them.
Is this an episode of James? This is your lens. Okie dokie, guys. So you were a cutie, James. I'll give you that. Let's talk TV. So 1995 had some pretty interesting TV shows. Those of you watching in the chat, please do, as we're chatting away, chuck in your memories of 1995 TV shows, and we'll get to as many comments as we can. But a few that jumped out at me that I wanted to talk about. Is there any that immediately jumped to your minds that you can think of?
I did no research for this.
No, that's fine, and that's fine.
No, but I'm just saying, like, there's nothing that jumps to mind as like, oh, this started in 1995 or anything like that. Like, I don't know what the big TV kind of moments were like, because like things like The Simpsons, I think that were big. Like at that time,
so we've tried to stick with what I would class as nerdy type of stuff, but there's a few things in there. Phil, sorry, first off, hi Leon, nice to see you, bud. Phil's saying things like X-Files were in the 90s, and Star Trek Generation, Millennium. A lot of these shows were on, Phil, but what we've tried to do is stick with ones that debuted in the year. So things that debuted in 1995 was Rosie and Jim. Oh, I used to love Rosie and Jim. Any of you got Ephraim? You'll not be familiar with Rosie. It's another one where I can sing to you. You familiar with it, James? No,
never heard of it.
Bum, bum, bum. Rosie and Jim, trucking along on the old. No. You've never lived. Anyway, let's talk TV. So, first one I wanted to mention, Jim Carrey. So this is the year after kind of Jim Carrey hit the scene big time in movies. And things went an absolute kind of nuts for him. We've got 3 debuting cartoons in the same year from Carrey. We've got The Mask, Ace Ventura, and of course, Dumb and Dumber. Didn't know there was
Dumb and Dumber cartoon.
It was so Dumb and Dumber. Let me just have a look. Dumb and Dumber only lasted 1 season, 13 episodes. And it was, I think it was kind of like chucked on in between other things. It wasn't like its own show, you know. The Mask ran for 3 seasons, 54 episodes, and Ace Ventura, 3 seasons, 41 episodes. Now, I have to say, I don't think I've ever watched any of these cartoons. Any of you guys?
I like Ace Ventura when I was a kid was my shit. Like, I love that show. I love it because I just loved Ace Ventura. And it's funny, like, I think you had in the 90s this kind of trend of, like, kind of adult, like, movies. Like, Ace Ventura is, like, got some pretty racy stuff in it. Like there's a lot of really dirty sex jokes and stuff like that in it. There's a bit where he gets like oral and stuff, but like they make a cartoon out of it because like kids watch it anyway and they enjoy it. So like I remember the Ace Ventura show really digging that. The Mask, I was more familiar with the movie. I don't think I really watched the show, but like Ace Ventura was the shit, man. I love that.
So the movie came out the year before, but the cartoon, I don't think it never hit my radar at all, even though I enjoyed all of those movies, to be perfectly honest. Carrey didn't do any of the voice work for any of these. I don't know how attached he was to anything. I think he was pretty much out of it. Efren, did you see any of these?
I didn't even know this show was out. You know, it must have been on network TV in the mornings. I'm assuming Saturday mornings. It would come
No
out.
idea, mate. No
Yeah,
idea.
Saturday morning shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
I've
like
never heard of this
I
show.
remember watching.
Never heard of it before.
Yeah.
A few of the guys in the chat are just chucking some shows in here. Some of them we're going to talk about. Due South, Jason. I didn't know if that was out in '95, but that was one of my favorite shows. I loved Due South. Cool theme tune to that as well.
Xena.
Xena, we might touch on that in a little bit. Millennium. Yeah. Again, I don't know if that debuted in this year or not, but yeah, great series.
Father Ted. Didn't know
we
that
might
was
touch
95.
on that in a little bit. We might touch on that. Slider's a very, very good one. Pinky in the Brain. Yes. Pinky in the Brain was tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. So, few Jim Carrey cartoons. Now, I suspect, James, you might not have heard of this one, but I'm wondering if Efren has. This was a superb series, and I loved it. This was American Gothic. Either of you heard of this?
I heard of it, but I never saw it.
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. This was a series, again, it only lasted one series, unfortunately, 22 episodes, starring Gary Cole, who's the main kind of character. He plays the sheriff. You'll recognize him. He's done a lot of TV, but I remember him from Office Space. You guys seen Office Space? The movie?
No. I've heard of it. I've never seen it, though.
Yeah. This was a very, James is right up your street, really. Kind of
Right.
It starts off with the sheriff is basically some kind of supernatural power, and it's a bit like the monkey's paw. He makes things happen for people in the village, in the city, as it were. But there's always a price to pay for it. And he's basically this evil presence. In the first episode, he kills Caleb, the young lad's mother, and she comes back as a ghost, and she's kind of trying to steer the young lad because he's got supernatural powers as well. Really interesting series. Really interesting series. I remember being hooked on this, but I don't remember how it ended. So it's another one that I'd like to go back to and rewatch at some point. But early kind of creepy TV. Really enjoyed it. Dead Man is saying Murder 1 and Jag started in 95. Used to love Murder 1. Dexter's Laboratory. Very cool. Fuzzy Fact Time. This is Drama Free Channel. Luckily for our Bosnian viewers, so is their homeland, whose civil war ended on December 14th, 1995. Peace wins again. What a lovely little fuzzy fact. I like that one. I like that, Fuzzy. Thank you. Had to Google Earthworm Jim. We might come to that.
Earthworm Jim.
Voyager 2. Yeah. Gary Cole is in everything. West Wing, Midnight Caller. Midnight Caller was his kind of his big break. Fuzzy Veep. He's a superb actor. I absolutely loves it. She comes back as a ghostwit. I have no idea what a ghostwit is. Okay, next we've got.
I think it's
Xena.
supposed to say ghost. I feel like it says.
Oh well, he does come. You're right. She does come back as a ghost.
As a ghost, maybe he's
ghost. Oh, is he mocking?
That sounds like, yeah, that's what I was about to say. He sounds like
shiny,
a Newcastle.
shiny. Are you mocking my thick Geordie accent? Is that what you're saying? She came back as a ghost man. Yeah, so we got Xena, Warrior Princess. We also got Hercules in the same year.
That was my shit. Kevin Sorbo, disappointed.
It's a shame now because he's gone like ultra Trump, isn't he? Yeah. But Xena never really did it for me in terms of watching the show. I have to say, did you guys? Were you big Xena or Hercules fans?
Oh yeah, loved Xena, loved Lucy Lawless, like, and the style of the show I really enjoyed, and it kind of extended into, like, this was from Sam Raimi and Ron Tappert. It went on to be Spartacus, like, basically was like a successor to this, and that's one of my favorite shows. So, like, I this was my jam when I was a kid. I enjoyed this.
So
what about you, Efren?
This came out in 1995.
Yeah.
So when did you start watching it, James? Because you must have watched it like in the 2000s then.
Well, that's the funny thing about TV, Efren, is that they rerun things sometimes down the road. It was like on the Sci-Fi Channel, like when I was like 9, 10.
Okay.
I was watching that.
I loved it when it first came out. I never used to watch Hercules, but I used to like Xena. Yeah.
Well, interesting. How many seasons do you think we've got of Xena?
6.
Oh, Efren, you're on the ball. 6 seasons of Xena, Warrior Princess. We've got 134 episodes. How many seasons of Hercules do you think?
5.
6 as well. 6 as
As
well.
well. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I remember these being kind of everybody was into them at the time. And I think Phil's right. Let's be honest. Xena is gorgeous. We all had a crush on her at one point. Absolutely.
I think it was like a kind of groundbreaking. There was like a lot of like, there was kind of a gay undertones to it that was really ahead of its time, I think, as well.
Yeah.
With the characters like kind of a a potential romance with her and the sidekick. So things like that I enjoy. But like this property is kind of still around now, like this comic books.
Oh, yeah.
Like she does loads of crossover stuff. Like I think there's even like an Ash meets Xena thing and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's still a comic book.
Yeah, so I mean, there's I think
yeah.
I think it's
Dynamite, maybe.
Yeah.
She does a lot of conventions as well. You see her quite a bit at the convention scene.
I'm surprised this has not come back yet. Like that they haven't done a revival.
Yeah, this is Hercules. Yeah. Well, yeah. It would be an interesting one. Let's have a look. See next, Earthworm Jim. Now again, cartoon. I think I've played the game, but I don't think I've ever actually watched the TV show.
No, I liked this when I was a kid. I love the games. That was one of the earlier ones I remember playing on my sister's computer.
Yeah,
but like the cartoon, I just like the character. I thought it was fun, kind of in the same vein as like a Buzz Lightyear. That was the kind of sci-fi shit I liked when I was like really young.
Yeah, I mean the animation looks really cool. It lasted for 2 seasons. And from what I understand, it was a good cartoon. It's not one I've ever sat and watched. Efren, how about you? You ever seen this?
Never seen it. I know about the character, but I just never got into it.
Yeah,
it's funny. I liked it.
I was 35, 36 years old.
Yeah, you're beyond cartoons then, Efren, weren't you?
Yeah. It's funny because I remember watching it, but I don't remember any specific lines or storylines or anything about it. I just remember that I did watch it.
Yeah, Fuzzy saying Mega Drive classics. Connie, is that an earthworm with muscles? I believe, I'm not familiar with the character, but I believe it's like an exosuit, isn't it? Like
a worm
in an armored suit.
So he is like, his entire body is just like a worm. It's that thin, like that head goes down, like as in the game, if you die, like he slithers out of the suit. Yeah. The suit's just like, I don't know if they think about it that much. It's probably like neuro-linked or something to him,
Fuzzy, at least once a year, I look at an Earthworm Jim figure one day. It's like I say, it's just not one that ever really hit my radar. But I know there's a lot of people who've got an awful lot of love for this. Oh, you can tell. Sorry, you can tell Connie is young. Do you know what I mean, bro?
That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy. Bro.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny though, like because there's not been an Earthworm Jim game in decades. And no cartoon. Like this is one so many people are nostalgic for this. I feel like it's a kind of a missed opportunity to not have a cartoon come back or do like because it's a side-scrolling 2D thing, like not a super expensive game to make. Why not? I
mean, I would have thought this would be prime revamp, but we'll see. We'll see. It's got people, like I say, people have got a lot of love for it. Now, Efren, a show that did debut in '95 that I would imagine you've got a bit of love for. Good old Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah. Love that show. I can't believe it came out in 1995. Was it right after Star Trek The Next Generation? Was that the
Next Generation? Yeah, it was only a year or two. Well, no. When did Deep Space Nine come out?
Oh, that's right.
I can't remember if it was along at the same time as Deep Space Nine, but it came out in 95, 7 seasons, 172 episodes. Obviously, journaling the voyage of the Voyager, which gets shunted into is it the Delta Quadrant, I think?
Yeah, I think so. What I like about the premise of Star Trek, where no man has gone before, so they went to a whole new, they were lost, so it was a great series. I really like that. They introduced 7 of 9 in this series too, right? Yeah.
And I remember just loving it. So Fuzzy's saying here, happy bunch. Absolutely, Fuzzy. I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but it was an interesting one because these are basically a mix of characters who weren't meant to be together. And part of them, like a second in command, is the Marquis, isn't he? He's they're kind of like the enemies of the Federation to an extent, political adversaries, and they all get stuck on this ship and then accidentally shunted billions of light years across the galaxy and have got to work together trying to find the way home. It was a really interesting series. The standout for me, obviously, is the Doctor, the Hollow Doctor. Absolutely loved him. We've got some real interesting episodes. And like you say, later on in the season, it introduces good old 7 of 9, which was many a young man's go-to individual.
Yep.
James, you ever watched any of this?
No, it looks like crap. No, I'm familiar with, like, looking at it, I recognize it. And I'm familiar with Seven of Nine. Like I like the actress that plays her and stuff. But like television Star Trek's never really been my thing.
It's because you've got no taste.
Yeah,
I like
Television
the
Star. So television
movies.
Star. Well, these guys have never. Well, not really been in a movie. These guys. But yeah, so the Voyager was a cracking series at the time. Lovely design of the ship as well. Lots of fond memories of that one. We also had another sci-fi show debut in '95, the second version of it. So it had been out in the 50s, I think, but then we got kind of volume 2 of The Outer Limits. This was an anthology series, different sci-fi shows each week. Some cracking episodes in this, including Leonard Nimoy with a kind of an iRobot episode. This was superb, absolutely superb. It ran again for 7 seasons, 152 episodes. Proper good quality sci-fi. This, Efren, you must remember The Outer Limits.
never saw it. It just never saw it, so
You never saw The Outer Limits?
never. I didn't know the show was on in 1995.
Yeah. So this was basically, if you remember that kind of the Twilight Zone and things like that, this was more of a sci-fi version. I guess you could compare it in a way to Black Mirror. Nowadays, all of the episodes were based on technology and that kind of stuff more than much else. I love this series. Phil saying 7 out of 9, another crush from the 90s. Nigel, good evening, folks. What do you think of a comic show? No, not going there, mate.
We don't.
Sorry, we don't. We don't.
Exactly.
Phil's got the cheek to slag off Superman and he's a Trekkie. Scandalous. Absolutely. The Outer Limits reboot was brilliant. There's some standout episodes that stay with me decades on, including one cracker called Inconstant Moon. Ooh, remind us which one that one is, Leon. I can't remember. I remember watching it at the time. It's a bit like X-Files. There was that much of it. I've kind of forgotten a lot of the individual episodes. So yeah, but great series. Great series. And then James, the best thing to come out of Ireland ever, really.
Other than me, the best thing from Ireland, born in 1995, of course. Father Ted, Efren, you have no idea what this is at all. No. So this is a kind of a co-British Irish television show from the 90s. It ran for I think 3 seasons. But it follows a bunch of priests in like a parish on like a little island called Skaggy Island, is it?
Scraggy
Island, yeah. As it's just kind of like their little hijinks, basically, of like they're trying to, like, Ted is like the main character and he's like trying to, like, he wants to be popular, and there's kind of various like scams that they do, and like Dougal's like the stupid one, Jack is like drink, feck, arse, girls, and stuff, like, so he's always like drunk. Mrs. Doyle, who's like just constantly, would you like some tea, Father? Go on. Yeah, it is actually genuinely like, I've been in pain laughing at this show. It's so funny. Like there's just there's so many great quotes in it, like just like these cows are small, those cows are far away, like so.
My favorite episode, and I was reminded of it at Trump's inauguration.
Right.
Was when Father Ted sees some. I think there's something outside he lives in, and there's a field behind him, and there's a bit of black sticker on his window. And he's standing in front of the window shouting at the birds or something. Going, it's like, yeah. And then a Chinese family walk past, and you see from their viewpoint them looking into the house, and where he's standing, the bit of stickers exactly over where Hitler's Tash would be. And he's doing all this.
That's probably the best episode. Like the other bits, like, I hear you're a racist now, Father. Things like that. Or like at the end when he brings in the house and there's like, there was like a mix up with 2 boxes, and one of them had like Nazi memorabilia, so he brings the like Chinese family in, and it's just like all Nazi stuff around. It's just so funny. But like other things, like he did kick me up the arse, like there's so many amazing. Every episode's a banger. Every episode's hilarious.
I don't know. It'd be interesting for you to watch it, Efren, because I don't know
what
if
you would think
would work in America. I'm not sure what you would think of it.
They're very thick accents that they talk in. But
how many seasons did it last?
Just 3 seasons. It's such an easy watch. I think it's on something. It's on
UK Gold all the time. Yeah. It's all over YouTube as well, Efren.
It is like widely regarded as like probably like the best like piece of media that Ireland has ever produced, like easily.
Yeah, well worth a watch.
Fun fact that the guy that played Ted died the on the last day of filming at the wrap party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, chaps, going to quickly jump to the chat and catch up with everybody in the chat, see what we've got. Connie is saying Voyager and Enterprise are the only two Trek series I think I've watched the whole way through. Just random episodes of the other series with my dad. Yeah, great series. Connie, whilst you're on, I know you're a Doctor Who fan. What did you think of the Christmas Doctor Who special? Let us know in the chat. Father Ted, oh my effing God, one of the best TV shows ever. Feck. So, Efren, that's what they say instead of the F word. So they get away with being able to say it on TV by saying feck a lot.
Yeah. I say it I say it myself sometimes.
But it's just the way they do it is just so brilliant. You will. Phil's in the mood to start Next Generation now. Phil, there are some cracking Next Generation episodes. I'm a big. I think Next Generation's still my favourite. Craggy Island, that's right, Connie. You're right. Craggy Island. Go on. Connie's actually rewatching it at the moment.
Yeah,
Leon,
DVD.
Yeah, it was one where the two colleagues realised that the sun has exploded and they've got about an hour's left with the shop. Oh, yes, I do remember that one. The Outer Limits episode. I do remember that one, mate. It was very good. I'm on the I hear you're racist now, Father.
I hear you're racist now, Father. Should we all be racist?
The other good one, sorry, Efra, the other good one is when the church tells them they've got to try and dissuade people from going in to see the movie because it's dirty.
Down with this sort of thing.
Down with this sort of thing. And they're at the cinema with the placards and they actually increase the sales by 400%.
Exactly.
Superb. Best Father Ted episode is the milk.
Oh, that's so funny.
With his milk thing. Feck arse girls. Dear God. It's a shame the main actor died. We're probably going for a few more seasons. That's very true, Terry. Very true. Oh, the Eurovision song contest.
My lovely horse running through the fields.
We've got SM. Nice to see you, SM. Hope you're well. Other notables to pop out of the vagina of 95 are Timothy Chalamet, Logan Paul, and the famed audition. Really? You see, you're out of all of those ones, James. You are definitely the best birth of that year. Then
you know what? It's because I'm older. I assume because I'm born in the first couple of weeks. I'm older than all those people. I'm older than Logan Paul.
Yes. Yeah, potentially. Connie, it was a great episode. I'm glad you liked it. I really enjoyed it. Casino was 1995.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I was in love with Sharon Stone. Well, we're going to get to that, Shiny, because that's movies, mate. We've got some cracking movies. 95 was a phenomenal year for films. Phenomenal year. We've got Alex. Nice to see you, Alex. Glad you could join, mate. Father Ted, then nothing until Mrs. Brown. Dear God.
Mrs. Brown can be quite good.
No, it can't. It's dreadful. The episode when they send Father Jack for his annual D will. Yeah, we've got Kenneth. Nice to see you, Kenneth. I hope you are well. And we've got Alex saying hello. Nice to see you, Alex. The episode with Victor Meldrew was good. See, we could do an entire episode just by talking about Father Ted, I think.
Oh, easily. Just spurt quotes back and forth at each other. I was going to say, another great one, sorry, is when the priests get lost in the lingerie department and they can't get out. I thought that was great. Is this the last of the TV stuff? There's one more. One came to my mind.
No, 1 second more. Alex, oops. Yes, I do remember you from Sunday night, mate. Thank you for joining. Sorry, what were you saying, James?
Just one other TV show that debuted in 1995 that jumped into my mind. It's Goosebumps.
Oh,
absolute classic for me. Do.
Again, I don't think I've ever seen any episodes of that.
Oh, it's like I don't know how it would hold up now, but like as a kid, they were terrifying. Like they were really, really.
Are you a Goosebumps fan, Efren? Is that one that you would watch?
I heard about it, but I never watched it. Now.
Yeah, like if it debuted in 1995 in the books, were I think early 90s. So.
Is Goosebumps on right now?
It is. There's a
David
Schwimmer one, I think, isn't it? Isn't he doing something at the moment?
Yeah, I started watching season 1, which was last year. I started watching it.
Why am I on the wing of this fucking plane? That's right. New season's just started. I think it's got the guy from Friends in, isn't it?
Yeah, David Schwimmer, yeah. I'm watching season 1 right now.
Okay. It's not the new season's not great. I've heard.
I don't know. It just never really jumped out of us. Connie's saying I'm a massive R.L. Stine fan. I read all the books, all the spin-offs of the episodes, then moved on to Fear Street. I am a fan of. We talked about that over on One Good Scare because there's a new one coming up, Connie, on Netflix. Is it Prom Queen, James? I think it's called Prom Street.
The Prom Queen. Yeah,
I
think so.
Looking forward to that one. Anyway, chaps, let's move on and let's talk about some of the toys that were popular in 1995. Without Googling, what do you think the biggest? Maybe it's not selling, but the most popular toys were according to the high street.
I'm gonna take a stab because I have like memories from when I was very young. Like I have a couple of memories from when I was like in a pram. I do. Is this the year of Furby?
No.
Fuck. Okay, that must have been like 96, 97. All right, I don't know then. 95 was, Buzz Lightyear, Toy Story.
Buzz Lightyear, very popular. Yeah. Now at Beanie Babies, I think too soon. Now I would never have gotten this. Power Rangers, no. I would never have gone for this. But this was the year that the world went mental for Pogs.
Huh.
You guys remember Pogs?
Never understood the appeal.
No. So Pogs were a weird thing. It was based on a milk cap game from, I think, Canada. And then it started to become popular. And then an American company bought it and branded it and made the Pog Worldwide Federation in 94. By 95, it just went absolutely mental. $10 million worth of Pogs a week were being sold.
Dang.
A week. They were absolutely everywhere. Basically, it's a game where you flip over your little Pogs. And then they ended up, in the UK in particular, getting banned in schools. Why do you think? Any idea why they were banned?
Because people were like bashing them and then losing them.
Because it was classed
that's what happened with Pokemon cards at our school.
Yeah, it was classed as gambling. So it was classed as gambling. So they got banned. Interestingly, within a couple of years, they just disappeared. Just absolutely disappeared.
I never really got the. I kind of did they have a resurgence? I think a couple of years later, a few years.
I don't know if they were called Pog. I don't remember
people
ever
colloquially refer to them as Pogs.
Yeah, I don't remember buying Pogs, and I certainly don't remember things with the creature's face on. What I do remember is in crisp packets, you got Tazos, which were the same things, little circular discs with kind of Looney Tunes characters on. And I remember them,
I remember that. Yeah.
But I don't remember going to a shop and buying a Pog pack. Yeah. Lots of people in the comments are just saying Beanie Babies. No, I'd never gone. They went mental. There were some valuable ones of those as well. Furby's on 95. Fuzzy's confirmed.
No, I looked it up. It's 98.
All right. Maybe
a rare Fuzzy correction there. Maybe there was some kind of pro-show Furby or something.
I trust Fuzzy, I have to say. Tamagotchis, Pogs. I remember obsessively collecting Pogs in the school playground. Yeah. And I remember Pogs, it was Pokemon cards before Pokemon cards. I have a Tamagotchi now, Fuzzy. Does that make me cool again? I'm not sure. Phil. Pogs were great until they started putting them in crisps. And every packet of crisps were crushed because people were fingering the packets looking for winners. Yeah, I certainly had a load of, like I said, I'm sure there were Tasmanian Devil Pogs.
Yep, I remember them.
Yeah. So yeah, Pogs were very, very popular. As Fuzzy mentioned, though, Toy Story toys went absolutely mental that year. Some of these are worth quite a bit of money now. They were originally made by Thinkway Toys. They were turned down initially by Mattel and Hasbro because they just didn't see the value in the franchise, I guess. And then it obviously went mental.
Mad, isn't it?
I remember having a Buzz, I think. Either of you guys ever had a Toy Story figure?
Oh, absolutely. I had a Buzz and a Woody. I was like, I wanted to be Andy when I was a kid. So yeah, I remember like some of the earliest toys I had, I think, were a Buzz and Woody. But like you see here, it wasn't like later on I went and got like replica kind of things.
Yeah.
When they were like the packaging looks like the box and like they actually function like they do in the movie. But like back then it was like a plastic Woody toy, which is like that's all you want. You want like the doll with the string and everything, you know?
Yeah. Fuzzy's saying it's Tazos who are called, the ones in the crisp that I remember. Yeah. Alex, I hate Toy Story. Those seem like low quality. I think they were low quality, mate. I think they were because it wasn't a particularly big company that made them. Efren, you a Toy Story fan?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I got my daughter a Woody one back in the day, you know. So yeah, I remember I didn't know much about him. When did the movie come out then? A couple years before that?
No, I think the movie came out was it either 94? I can't remember. Someone Google it. I've got a feeling.
I'm certain it's 95.
Yeah. Oh, it might be. I might have a slide in it later on. I can't remember.
Yeah, 95.
Yeah.
I mean, this toys have survived even now. I mean, they're supposed to be making another Toy Story movie, so it's still popular.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Great
massive.
franchise.
Kid had a rare transparent Buzz Lightyear, eventually. Nice. Fuzzy's confirming it is 95. Toy Story was very damaging to me as a kid because I always got really upset leaving my toys in. Okay, guys. So I found another little thing online which I quite like. Now, Efren, I presume you've got similar things in America, but over here we had at Christmas time all through the year. We had the catalogs. I don't know if you guys had catalogs.
Argos catalog, Smith catalog.
So I found the Argos catalogs for these years. So I thought we'd have a quick look at what Argos was touting Christmas of 95. We've got some turtle stuff there. Godzilla, Spider-Man. Interesting that a lot of the franchises haven't really changed that much. Legends of Batman. I remember having a few of these because they were bizarre, because it was like totally random stuff. Like the one I had was like Batman as Zorro. Awful figures.
Yeah.
Awful figures. You guys remember any of those?
I'm just looking at it.
Catalogs, you said.
See again, mate?
These were in catalogs, you said, right?
Catalogs, yeah. So this at Christmas time, what I would do as a kid is you get the Argos catalog, yeah, and you go through and circle all the stuff that you want Santa.
And you have a little sheet and you tot up how much it's gonna be and stuff. Yeah, I remember that. How old was what?
I was going to say, Peter, how old were you in 1995?
I was born 77. So
okay, so you're what, 18 years old?
Yeah.
You were only born in 77.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I thought it was like the 60s, you know.
You cheeky bastard.
Look, your hair is whiter than Efren's, so I thought you were a bit closer. Yeah.
Moving on.
Anyway, what hair you have left? You know? But just looking at that the Spider-Man figures. That's the logo for the cartoon. The cartoon was out. At that point, was it? Yeah,
cartoon was out. It was very, very.
I remember
popular.
the toys for that. I remember there was like a Sinister Six-pack and stuff like that. Like, I enjoyed those.
Yeah.
You know, it would be interesting to see right now how much these toys are worth.
Well, I think some of them might have a little bit of a price, but the vast majority, they're just mass produced.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I think if you get them in packet, you might have some joy for them financially. VR Troopers isn't something I remember at all. Don't know if anybody remembers that.
Oh, fucking Action Man.
Action Man.
Oh, I bloody loved Action Man. That's from the 90s, yeah.
Boglins. Got a Boglin. I like RoboCop. That must have been from the cartoon, I guess. Space Precinct figures.
Don't even know what Space Precinct is.
So Space Precinct was was it Wesley Anderson series of a police detective show, but with kind of puppet monsters and things like that. Interesting one. Interesting. And then the last one, we've got a bit of Power Ranger goodness there, obviously. Lots of Power Ranger stuff. Mighty Max. I've got a feeling I had that big Frank at some point. Any of those jump out at any of you?
The thing that jumped out to me is how crap toys used to be. Like in terms of articulation and the detail and stuff like that. Like, it's just mad how far that's come now, I think even like in the 90s.
I don't think it has. I think you're wrong, James. I don't think it has. Yeah. I think no, if you look at the price point on those figures, you're looking at like what £4.50 for an action figure.
Yeah,
if
but
you
there's
compare
inflation
that,
and stuff.
But if you compare that to a Marvel Legend, the figures aren't that much more advanced than those Power Ranger figures in terms of articulation and stuff.
Well, how many points of articulation? Like most figures, then the arm just went up and down. Do you know what I mean? Like,
James, do you remember that program you were on a while ago, highlighting 1997? Oh, right. Oh, I get you, Terry. I get you. Yeah. Terry's just reminding you're surprised by my date of birth, but we did an entire bloody show about it, James. You remember?
It's a jab, Pete. Doesn't have to make sense.
Terry, he's bullying us. He's being unkind.
That's it.
He's being unkind. Toy TV adverts were great. They absolutely won. Phil had one of those RoboCops, and he's saying, "Watch Space Precinct, James." I'll be interested in your thoughts on Space Precinct.
I'll have a look. I'll watch an episode.
Okay, guys. Comic books. Anybody remember anything interesting from 95 in terms of comics? Because there was a pretty major thing came out.
I want to say like it was like X-Men. There's Age of Apocalypse or something. One of those. Yeah,
Age of Apocalypse.
Called it.
Now, Efren, you must remember Age of Apocalypse.
When this book came out, I thought it was so awesome. Sorry, spoilers, anybody. If it's over 30 years, Professor Xavier gets killed. and then the world kind of resets, a world without Professor Xavier. And it was a great series. I wish it would have gone on, how much I enjoyed it. To me, it was something new because, basically the whole universe was reset. And then just like Age of Apocalypse from Magneto's point of view, if he was, around without Professor Xavier, and Wolverine, classic character. And he had his arm cut off. His hand was missing. Then at the end of the series, they show his adamantiums were still in there and he popped them out. It was a great series. I really enjoyed it.
So this for me was one of the peak of when X-Men was at the top of its game. Yeah. So as everyone described, it starts off with Charles Xavier's son actually accidentally killing Charles Xavier. And it resets the universe kind of, doesn't it? And you got basically an alpha issue, which told the introduced you to the Age of Apocalypse. And then you got all of the X books converted to a different title for 4 months. I think it was 3 or 4 months. So you got Exiles and you got Excalibur and all kinds of stuff. Astonishing X-Men, all with different takes on characters we knew and loved. I just thought it was amazing. And then it ended and reverted back.
There's one character I wish they would have kept was the Sabretooth character.
Yeah.
He was more human than he's like animalistic that we all know him as. That's the one character I really liked. I wish they would have kept him somehow.
Yeah. So there was a couple of characters jumped over to the mainstream Marvel universe. So we've got X-Man, who was Nate Grey, Cyclops and Jean Grey's son. And then we also got the Sugar Man, which was a weird little creature. And then we got the evil version of Beast. Hank McCoy came over. Dark Beast. Just a great series. Have you read any of it, James? Are you familiar?
I read it when I was like, I want to say 12 or 13. I was really big into the X-Men when the X-Men movies were coming out, so I sought it out then. I don't remember really anything from it other than the character designs, because they kind of they reference so constantly,
Well worth picking up and having another read, because it is a great story. And of course, we've got this version of Wolverine in the recent Deadpool movie. So we'll see him as in a cameo. Yeah.
He did?
Yeah. Do you know the montage bit where they're showing you all the different Wolverines?
Yeah.
He starts beating him up. Beating up Deadpool.
Yeah.
Huh.
See Jackman in the big like.
Did he have he was missing the hand and everything?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I gotta watch it again.
Yeah. Hi, Anton. Yeah, just a great series. Well worth a read if you haven't read it. I really enjoyed X-Men back then. It's not really had the same level of excitement for me since then.
That 90s was peak. In the comics, I think, like late 80s or Chris Claremont, that kind of era. That's peak X-Men. I don't think it's ever been as good since.
Yeah, it's tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And I'll never forget the last panel or the last few panels of the end point where Magneto faces off against Apocalypse, and there's a brilliant scene where Magneto stops talking and Apocalypse kind of challenges him on it, and he says, "I'm concentrating," and then he rips him in half. It's just
I remember that.
Yeah,
but it was 30 years.
I know. Incredible. So great series. Recommend people check that one out. Couple of interesting firsts for you. We got the first issue of Preacher in '95.
Preacher went back that far.
Yeah. It's a canny age. I didn't realize that either, James. Yeah. So first appearance of Jesse, is it Cluster? I think Custer. The guy's name, I can't remember. But really interesting series. It's had an HBO Max series as well. Now I have to hold my hands up and say I don't think I've ever read the full run of Preacher. I think I've read a few issues, but I think it's generally regarded as one of the best books that Garth Ennis has done. Either of you guys read any of it?
Nope.
I've read the first volume the first trade paperback of it. It's the first few issues. Really good. Enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's certainly, I think, a fan favorite. People love it. And I hadn't realized that it was also Garth Ennis that wrote Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe. Back in, I kind of believe that's back in '95. This was a one-shot, kind of an Elseworlds tale of basically the tale changes so that Frank Castle's family are killed in the midst of a battle. I think it's an X-Men battle.
It was X-Men, is this? I thought it was Avengers. Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? And then so he's vendetta against superheroes then. Yeah. It's a really cool twist on it's a brilliant
little story as well. It's you have to put a bit of disbelief in it because he dispatches some massive heavy hitters very, very easily. You know, I mean, he takes out the Hulk very quickly and very easily and stuff like that. But it is a self-contained little story. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's a real good read. So well worth checking out. And then another book that I've never read, but we'll get Witchblade issue #1. Not our first appearance. Our first appearance came in Shy, I think, a month beforehand. But yeah, big popular character. Another one that had a TV show. Any of you guys familiar with the Witchblade character?
Just saw the TV show, and then like this still around now. Again, spin-offs similar to Xena. There's loads of spin-offs. Again, I think there's an Ash Witchblade kind of team up thing. But yeah, I remember the show. Didn't really like it.
I don't remember the show.
Yeah.
Efren, you ever read any of that?
I never read it. Obviously, I know about the character. I knew there was a TV show, but I never read the comic book or TV show. But we can't not talk about the great artist Michael Turner. On Discover. So yeah.
I think our pal Comic Lad Simon's a big fan of Witchblade. I think he's because he loves
really? Because he loves boobs, I think.
Well, yeah, I think
it's Fathom and
that doesn't hurt. Yeah, that doesn't hurt.
Is it the same creator as?
I think so. Yeah.
Fathom? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So yeah, interesting ones. Just going to quickly jump to the chat, and then we've got one more comic I want to talk about. Fuzzy is saying that he saw today Chris Claremont is writing a new Wolverine book. Very cool. Didn't know that.
Nice.
Phil, can I read Age of Apocalypse cold? Like no prior reading. X-Men frightens me. You can. Phil, it's a bit of a self-contained story. If you get it in trade paperback, it's got all you need, really. Fuzzy fact time. Originally launched as an auction web, eBay debuted on the internet. The first item sold on site, a broken laser pointer. Wow.
In 1995?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible. Do you remember all the hoo-ha? So back in the day, I remember going on holiday. In every shop you went to, you could buy boxes of laser pointers. It was like the new fun technology.
I used to stare into them.
Yeah.
With the ones
James.
That's the ones with the ones where you put a thing on it and it makes a shape, like
different shapes and stuff.
Skull or something like that.
And then they had to stop selling them, didn't they? Because people were pointing them at aircraft and things like that and trying to blind pilots and stuff. Yeah. Interesting. Never got into the new Preacher. Never got into Witchblade. Don't like what anybody kills the Marvel universe. So not a run of books there that really interest you, Anton.
95 was a bit of poo-poo year for comic books, in my opinion.
The Preacher show was TV was fantastic. Yeah, never seen it. Fuzzy, I was told it was an empty water bottle. What site was that then? This is about what was sold first on eBay. So last book that came out in 95 I want to talk about is The Last Avengers story.
It looks like you, Pete, on the cover.
It was a two-part
That's
story.
not a dig. It looks like that really looks like you on the cover.
Yeah, okay.
Who's it supposed to be?
The Tank Pym. So this is a two-part series. Again, an Elseworld multiverse tale set in the future. Absolutely phenomenal. If you guys haven't read this, just 2 issues. I really, really recommend you go and check it out. It's incredibly brutal. It's just filled with absolutely great scenes. It's basically the Avengers have become kind of celebrities, but not the thank you, Phil.
It does. Look at that. Looks like you, Pete. I'm sorry, but it really does.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. How dare you? No. So it's a great story. Very, very graphic. We've got Jack here. Nice to see you, Jack. I hope you are well, bud. Well worth reading.
Bit more muscular, I think. But...
Also, same kind of pose as your logo. That's what they've based it on, I believe, Phil. That's what they based it on. Yeah. This was my particular favorite scene where Hulk tears Tigra in half and then throws a body at them. So, well worth a good check out, that one. Okie dokie. Let's move on and talk about movies. What movies came out in 95, guys?
Well, Toy Story.
Yeah. Any of the bigger ones?
Any Indiana Jones movies come out in the 90s or?
We've got some good ones. James, I thought you might have mentioned this one. Phil's on the ball there. We've got
GoldenEye.
Bit of Pierce Brosnan action there. Bit of Pierce Brosnan. Anton saying, sorry guys, that looks terrible. Not into comics tonight, Anton. Not into comics. We got GoldenEye. First outing of Pierce Brosnan. You guys both seen this one?
Oh yeah. This is one of my faves. This one's the absolute classic.
So remind us, James, because I think I get my Brosnans mixed up. This isn't the one with the horrific horrific CGI scene at the end where he's
that's Die Another Day.
Okay,
that's the fourth one. So the thing about the Brosnan ones, so it's Sean Bean plays a 006, and so they kind of opens as a cold open of them kind of invading like a Russian base or something. Like it starts with him like rappelling down upside down to a guy on the toilet, and he punches him out. And so like 006 fakes his death, and then later on it turns out he's the villain. The villain is one of the like Bond girl in it. One of them is Famke Janssen from the X-Men movies, plays Jean Grey. She's a Xenia Onatopp. She crushes men's head with her legs. She does that type of movie, so that's fun. Basically, GoldenEye is like GoldenEye is named after the author's like he had like an island that he like was a resort kind of called GoldenEye. So it's named after that, but it's a weapon. It's like a satellite kind of thing. So it ends with him and Sean Bean fighting on it. It's great movie, really fun.
I think it's normally regarded as the best of the Brosnan movies.
Oh, 100%. But the Brosnan ones got progressively worse as they went on. Like the second one's decent, the third one's decent, and then the last one's not.
I think, interestingly, this is the 17th Bond movie, and it's the first one that didn't really have any source material from any of the Ian Fleming.
Yep, it's the first original one.
Yeah. Decent flick. I need to go back and rewatch. I haven't watched any of the Brosnans because they're not my favourites, I have to say. Had a budget of 60 million, made 356 million at the box office. So not bad at all. Phil got GoldenEye. Fuzzy's mentioning Heat. We'll talk about that maybe later on. A few other mentions of films there. Anton, they're saying that was a good movie. That was a good James Bond movie. Connie, God, Pierce Brosnan is so hot. I mean, yeah, it's a good picture, isn't it? It's a good picture. I've never watched a single James Bond movie, though.
Wow,
Connie. I mean, there are some good ones. Yeah. Fuzzies, listen to a few films here. Usual Suspects, 7, Desperado, like Braveheart, Outbreak Congo, Crimson Tide, which is a personal favourite of mine, Casino. We'll come back to some of those in a bit, but all stunning movies. Apollo 13, Congo, yeah. It was still a cinema. I was still a cinema projectionist in '95. Got the original posters for all these films.
Nice.
Wow, that's cool, Leon. That is very cool. Cool song. I can't remember that one. What's
GoldenEye?
Oh, hang on. We'll have to do that again. Do that again, Jim.
Oh, I just did it. I did it twice.
Do it again. Come on, who sang that?
GoldenEye.
Ooh, dang, now I don't want to see that movie.
It's good. It's very good. It's is it Tina Turner? I think it's Tina Turner. And then there's a
was that your Tina Turner impression?
Yes. Nicole Scherzinger does a cover of it for the remake of the video game.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Okay.
Phil's confirming Tina Turner. Tina Turner. Toy Story is great. As for comics, I would say the X-Men would probably be the best. Add Todd McFarlane, Spider-Man. Yeah, very cool. I've seen bits of James Bond movies, but
just
never
the sexy
once.
bits, obviously, Connie. She skims them. She skims them a little.
Filth.
Yeah.
We also got this.
Mortal Kombat!
So yeah, Mortal Kombat. The first
that was so in sync.
And it was. It's perfect. We're like twins. Yeah. Do you know what? I love this movie. It's cheesy beyond belief. I mean, and Christopher Lambert as Raiden is horrific, but I still love it.
He's horrific, but he's like kind of the best, like the second best thing in the movie.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
Efren, have you seen this?
No, never seen it. No.
This is a franchise you'd like. It's very comic booky. Like everyone has superpowers and stuff like that, but it's based on an arcade.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's just fantastic. Like it's really fun. I love this one. I love this guy. Like I think the best thing in it is the villain, Shang Tsung. That dude is awesome. Like I'll swallow your soul. What is it? Your soul is mine. Like it's just so good. Like
And we're getting another Mortal Kombat movie next year. I think it is.
Mortal Kombat this year.
This year, is it? Yeah.
This year, yeah.
This was great, and for '95 had some very, very cool special effects, I think.
Yeah.
Connie is just saying, I find the notion a bit stupid. What's the point of having a spy if everyone knows who he is? He's clearly not very good. Connie, I think you're getting confused with the concept of movies. We all know he's a spy, but the people in the film don't, other than the people that are working with him. Do you know what I mean?
But he gives his real name. But then is that his real name?
But then but the real people, they don't. There's not like a list of spies. It's never. People don't go, "Oh, James Bond, the international spy," do they?
I don't think they
Some do.
Nah, I don't.
Some people tend to just clock him immediately, and he still walks in.
It's because he's so sexy. Do you know what I mean? Of course, you're going to clock him straight away. Look at that. You know, he's not going to come in and go, "Oh, I'm the binman." Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. Anyway, a taste of things to come. Yeah, I saw that in the movies, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I loved Mortal Kombat.
I'd say after check out the newer ones at least, because like I think it's a really cool universe. I love them. Like they're so good, and they're sort of semi in the DC multiverse as well.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah. Connie's watched him come out in these trunks 35 times. In fairness, Connie, he changes his face every few years. That must be as confusing as fuck with the face. That is true. Now, I'm really interested in your take on this next one, because this is where I think things started to go decidedly downhill for DC. Yeah, Batman Forever in 1995. So we'll lose Michael Keaton. We'll lose what you call him, the director. I can get terrible bounce back. We'll lose Tim Burton, and we'll get Joe Schumacher instead. We'll go from dark and brooding to camp. We'll get Val Kilmer. What do you guys think of this one? Efra, will come to you first. Are you a fan of Batman Forever?
Not compared to the first one with Michael Keaton, you know. So I did like the Joker, the way they portrayed him. You know, I thought it was campy and reminded me more of the comic book.
You mean the Riddler?
I mean the Riddler. Sorry, I meant the Riddler. Sorry, Jim Carrey. But that tells you how much I remember about the movie. You know, so it was just getting too campy for me, like you said. It was going downward spiral. You know, so. But I just didn't really like it that much. And the next one after that too, man, with Arnold, that was terrible, man. It was bad.
I mean, what did you think of Kilmer, James, as Batman?
I thought he was good. Like they were. There's a lot of delete. A lot of people talk about like a Schumacher cut of this film where like they cut out all the dark and brooding stuff. Like there was supposed to be a lot of introspective Bruce Wayne things in this. So that's what I was going for. I thought like in terms of like on paper he's a good choice for it. I just think he's nothing compared to Keaton. You know, like I think that's the unfortunate thing is following that performance and trying to make that the same character. I think this movie is better than a lot of people give it credit for. Like you can disagree with the direction that they went in, like the more toyetic kind of thing, but it's like I think there's some fun performance. I think Jim Carrey's really good in this. I think Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones isn't great in it, but he's all right. But like it's a fun one. I think it's not like people lump this with Batman and Robin. I just don't think this is anywhere near as bad.
I need to go back and rewatch it. It's years since I've seen it, and I keep away from it because for me this was such a backwards step. And I know people love it, and I know people enjoy it. I think if it's your first Batman, or if that's your style of Batman, fine. For me, I didn't want to go back to the campiness, and I remember sitting in the cinema with my mates, so pumped and hyped for this. And I think the first scene is someone stealing a safe.
Oh my God, it's filling up with acid.
It's boiling acid. And it was like, what the shit is this? Okay. It was such a jump from the Keaton Batman in some regards.
Like to me, this was like I was 3, 4 when I saw this movie, so like I enjoyed it. So
yeah, I mean, I will say Jim Carrey's tremendous.
Jim Carrey's great.
He's great and everything. Jump to the comments. Just see what people are saying about this one. Oh, Fuzzy, Kiss from Rose, great soundtrack. Very, very cool.
I only learned because I love Seal. I only learned 2 months ago that's from the soundtrack for this.
Oh yes, great music video as well. Great music video. This was the first Batman movie I ever saw, and I loved it. Anton, I loved Batman Forever. Jim Carrey's Riddler, the giant Happy Meals they have at McDonald's. I still have all the glasses. Yeah. And Fuzzy is saying he thinks, like you, James, he thinks people give it way too much stick.
It's just lumped in with Batman and Robin. It's Batman and Robin's a train wreck, but like there was a good idea with Batman Forever. I think like parts of it are well executed.
I collected the comics and movie adaptations of this and all the Batman movies when they came out. Yeah, great books, an awesome soundtrack. Agree with that. And Deadman, I hated 66 Batman, and this and the Arnie one brought back my hate. See, I think I'm with Terry that for me this made Batman campy and cheesy again, and that's not where I wanted. But I completely get that some people loved that element of it, you know. And you could argue Batman Returns was campy at times as well with the service.
That was literally you stole the words out of my mouth there, Pete. You go back and watch those Keaton ones on now; they're campy as fuck. Mm-hmm. They're just not childy campy, you know. They're just like they're a bit more adult, like.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a bit in it is this one where Batman and Robin are kind of climbing the Riddler's lair at the end, and Robin says to Batman, "Holy rusted metal, Batman." Because he's standing on, and he goes, "Look, it's holy."
Look, it's got holes in it. It's holy.
And I think that was meant to get a laugh, but I remember everybody around me just literally went, "Oh God," because it was just
here we are again, kind of thing, is it? Like,
Fuzzy, Batman Forever is like a comic. I think that's why it works. Yeah. It's an interesting one. I did like the suit. First time we get nipples on the suit, but the suit does look cool. I'll give him that. And I think Val Kilmer, to be fair, was a good Batman.
If anything, the weirdest thing about the movie is that Bruce Wayne's like adopting a 22-year-old man.
That's always weird in the comics. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a bit, Anyway, moving on. Other films that came out this year, we've mentioned a few of them. Jumanji came out in 95, I believe.
That was my shit as well. Loved it.
Yeah, bit of Robin Williams action there. Love that movie.
Casper. Casper is so good.
Wow. So this is terrible. So I've just clicked now then. 95. I think that was one of the first films I went to see with my then girlfriend who became my wife. First film we saw was Blade, so that might have been the year before, and then I think we saw Casper, or it might have been the other way around.
I bet Blade was 98.
Oh, so we must have seen Casper first and then went to Braveheart. Big fan of Braveheart, even though it's not historically accurate and all the rest of it. It's a great movie. Bad Boys, love a bit of Bad Boys.
Bad Boys. Yeah. That's 95. That's
great movies in 95.
I thought that was way later. I thought that was like 99.
Waterworld. Not a bad movie.
That was for a long time the biggest box office bomb.
Yeah. They spent
wasn't it?
Millions on it.
Like
Absolutely
200 million, 300 million, which at that time was like half a billion or something, you know, like crazy.
Yeah. Connie's just saying Clueless, one of the best movies of all time.
It was great. Goofy movie. Anyone familiar with Goofy movie?
Yeah. Goofy movie.
Fun one. Yeah, I like that one.
Outbreak was very, very cool. Loved that one. Bit of Dustin Hoffman. And Seven still floors me when I watch it. It's a phenomenal movie.
I mean, either. I've never seen it either.
But I guess this is the problem in some regards. That movie, it's still worth a watch.
I don't know what's in the box.
Okay, right. Definitely watch it then.
I'm assuming it's like Gwyneth Paltrow's head or something like that, but I don't know. I don't know
that
for a fact.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Ephraim.
I never seen it, but I read about it recently.
Okay, well, I haven't seen it, and I managed to stay away from that spoiler for 30 years now.
You said it, so you knew it.
Yeah, you knew.
I think, but I don't know. But then you just said
worth watching. Okay. It's a great movie. It's not on this slide, but one of the ones Fuzzy mentioned earlier on, Crimson Tide. You guys seen Crimson Tide?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, Gene Hackman, Denzel. Oh, just amazing, James. If you like, because I love military tension kind of movies. It's about a nuclear sub, basically, and they get the order to launch the nuclear weapons. But I can't remember the full detail. But I think, correct as Ephraim, does the message cut out halfway through or something like that? So you then get the drama, don't you, of the commander of the sub and the XO, the second in command. One wants to fire, one doesn't want to fire. And it's kind of the dynamic on the boat of what the hell they're going to do and all this kind of stuff. It's just amazing. Just amazing. Superb performances.
Peter, did you know what the highest grossing movie in 1995 was?
I did for these slides, but I forgot what it was.
I would say Braveheart.
I think it was Braveheart.
It's not on this list.
Okay, what is it?
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, Die Hard. Yeah. I kept off it because it's not one of the better ones, I don't think.
That's the one with Sam Jackson, isn't it?
Sam Jackson. Yeah.
Like
it's the one after that I think I don't like.
Oh, Die Hard.
Which is the one that introduces his son.
That's the fifth one.
Is it? Yeah.
That's the most recent one. Live Free. No, that's the fourth one. What's the fifth one? Die Hard. I can't even remember what it's called. Yeah. It was a punny kind of name, like Fuzzy. Don't know.
Fuzzy's saying 7 is fantastic, as good as any 90s film. Yeah, well worth a watch. Phil and Connie are having a debate about movies here. Scent of a Woman, Three Musketeers, he's saying. And Tom.
Oh, is that the Charlie Sheen Three Musketeers? I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Pocahontas was pretty bad. Was probably one of the worst of the Disney movies. You
Disagree.
know, I don't know if I've ever sat and watched Pocahontas
I
all
like
the way through.
Pocahontas.
I
When was
liked
a kid.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen. Waterworld is basically Mad Max on water. Not a bad movie. Casper's a great movie. Casper was phenomenal.
Casper
Am I
has
right?
a.
I was just going. You might be about to answer the question. Am I right in saying that there's a Dan Aykroyd?
shows up as in the Ghostbusters scare here. He's like, call someone else or something. I think he says.
Pocahontas was a great movie until I learned what actually happened to Pocahontas. Loses its charm after that. Apparently, she's buried somewhere in the UK. It was a question on Big Fat
The
Quiz
Chase.
of the Year.
The Big Fat Quiz of the Year. I saw that. It's in England.
Can't remember where.
I don't know why she's in England.
No, that's because I didn't know. It was weird. Seven is a really scary movie, probably one of the scariest thrillers ever made. Even credits run backwards at the end. It's a real freaky movie. James, I'm surprised you've not watched it. It's a proper horror type movie.
It's been I have a recurring thing with my friends over the fact that I've never seen Seven. Like it's like a why. I think they were shown in the cinema last month, and I wound up getting rostered for work, and I couldn't go.
Okay.
So I was bummed because I was like, I can see it in the cinema now.
Fuzzy's list says Batman Forever, Apollo 13, and Toy Story for biggest grossing films. Die Hard is a series that everybody agrees on, the good ones and bad. Yeah. Braveheart, the Oscar winner. Yeah, great. I love Braveheart. I do. I tell you which one I like even more because Mel did a good thing of a good run of historical movies. We did Braveheart and then he did The Patriot.
Yeah.
I like The Patriot.
That's a very strong movie. Very strong.
That guy gets his leg blown off with a cannonball.
The cannonballs are bouncing, knocking legs off left, right, and centre. Yeah. The actor's the guy who plays Malfoy in Harry Potter.
Jason Isaacs.
Jason Isaacs plays a great villain in that.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying when he dies at the end. Yeah. Friday is a great movie. Which one's Friday?
The one on the bottom left.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, Ice Cube.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that
Friday.
one.
It's good.
Yeah. Connie's confirmed they brought her back to the UK and she married John Smith and they renamed her Rebecca. She died at 26. Wow. Didn't know that. Yeah.
So I beat Pocahontas.
I mean, there's a clip. James Keegan, I beat Pocahontas. Die Hard with a Vengeance, that's a really good one too. Braveheart, great film, historically incorrect, like 300 years incorrect. Yeah, it's a funny one. There are a lot more surprises than what's in the box in 7 James.
But that's the big surprise. And Efren just ruined it for me. So at some point, I may as well not watch
Grow the fuck up. You're definitely a 13-year-old tween, aren't you?
There's no point.
Yeah. Moving on, chaps. Moving on to games. There we go, James.
Yeah.
We'll keep your little face happy. We'll talk about some computer bang things. Any idea what the big news of 95 was? Stop Googling. Stop looking at your phone.
I'm not Googling. Well, the PlayStation launched in like December of like 1994. So maybe it was like a UK Europe release of the PlayStation.
It came out. It launched in 95 here. Yeah, and the States.
That's what I mean. UK. Yeah. So the PlayStation. So like, great console. I was thinking back earlier, like, could I remember any 95 years? I know Twisted Metal was 95, but like most of like the big PlayStation games didn't come until later. Like there was Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was 97. Spyro was 98. Metal Gear Solid was 98. So like a lot of them, like they didn't have an amazing first year or two, I don't think.
So 95, we got the Sega Saturn released. That died. And we got the PS1. Came out for £299, which if you convert it for inflation is about £730 now. To date, well, they've stopped producing the PlayStation 1, obviously, but they sold 102 million units of PlayStation 1. Biggest selling game that year, do you know what it was?
Mortal Kombat 3?
It's a car game.
Gran Turismo 1?
Yeah, Gran Turismo. Let's have a look. Did PlayStation 1 controllers not have analog sticks?
It did halfway through the generation. It got a new controller with analog sticks. I hate playing with game with no analog stick. I hate it. It's awful.
Yeah, me too. Again, back to the August catalogue. These are some of the things that were for sale in the August catalogue, not including the PlayStation. Pardon me. We had the Sega Master System 2. I had one of those. Game Gear I never had. Then we had the Mega Drive. I had a Mega Drive. Do either of you guys have a Mega Drive?
Nope.
No.
I was the dog's bollocks having a Mega Drive. I wasn't. That's a lie because like it was like kind of American politics. Do you know what I mean? You are either Team Sega or Team Nintendo, and you weren't allowed to talk to each other in the schoolyard and stuff like that. If you were Team Sega or Team Mega Drive, I was very much Sonic, whereas my mates were Nintendo. Yeah. We used to it because they got the Turtles game. I got Sonic.
So Nintendo at this point, that would have been it wouldn't have been the 64 yet. It was still the SNES.
SNES, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay.
There we go.
Nintendo. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So we've got the Game Boy. Never owned a Game Boy. Either of you guys have a Game Boy?
I had a Game Boy Color, so the following one. And I love that. I loved it, man. I loved playing Pokemon. Pokemon was my shit as well. Like I loved it so much. I even just a couple of years ago, found my Game Boy Color and put in Pokemon Blue, and went around playing that for a bit, just like on the bus and stuff. Like it's really, really great. The thing I hate about like old games like that is like there's no memory cards and stuff like that. You would have to like remember or write down passwords, and I just never would. And so like I turned the game back on and I remember, I didn't save my thing, and that kind of crap. I was like, oh.
I remember playing, I think it was Wonder Boy 2 or Wonder Boy in Monsterland or something on the Master System. Driving is mad because, like you said, it didn't really have a proper save function. So once you died, and you could be getting to what I thought was the end of the game, and then that was just it. If you died or if you ran out of time or you had to go out or anything like that, it used to just drive us crazy.
Games were brutal back then because I think if you like blasted through a game without dying, they only last like an hour or an hour and a half. So like the idea is that they're so hard that you just like you have to be perfect at it, and you only get a limited number of lives. If not, you go back to the start, and like that's it could take you 20 hours to finish a game because you have to get that perfect kind of run.
This was a big game back in the day. Virtual Fighter 2. Never played it. This was out on the Sega. But those graphics aren't bad if you can consider this was, 30 years ago.
I mean, that would have been one of the first, like, 3D... Like this was the era of 3D, like the PlayStation and the Mega Drive, like are the first 3D consoles. So, like, that was mind-blowing for people. Like, who went from, like, side-scrolling Mario, SNES, 16-bit stuff to this. Like, there has never been, I think, a bigger leap in games as that, I think.
Couple of big notes. We've got the Twisted Metal, as you mentioned. On the PC, we've got Worms. This is probably one of the games.
I love Worms.
Yeah, this is one of the games that I really remember thoroughly enjoying and loving back in the day. Efren, have you ever played Worms?
Never. I was, for some reason, I think would go hand in hand with comic books, but I never got into video games. I played a little bit of it, but no.
I don't even play that. I like the gaming kind of landscape. I find it interesting. I don't play that much myself, really.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
My PlayStation can be off for 2 months sometimes. Like,
okay.
Mine's been off since February last year. Yeah, so no, I mean, Worms is a tremendous game, Efren. I think you would like that one.
Just to give you a rundown, what it is, it's usually multiplayer, but it's like you have a little worm and you can like select different weapons and it's like you have 4 things on a map and you shoot things at the other people, and like so if you shoot a grenade, it'll explode and the other worm will bounce and you can like land them in the water and they die and stuff. It's really cool.
It's fun. Fuzzy's just mentioning Lemons there. I loved Lemons.
Lemons is good as well. That was by the team that went on to do Grand Theft Auto.
Was it really?
Yeah, Rockstar North.
I haven't played Lemons for years.
Yeah. So they do Grand Theft Auto now. It's funny.
I'd like a go on Lemons. I might try and get a version of that one something. A few other games just to mention. These are some of the other ones that were out that year. Spider-Man on the Genesis, horrendous side-scrolling fighting game, was absolutely awful. But we got Star Wars Dark Forces. I remember playing that. That was a pretty darn good game.
Yeah,
I remember enjoying
a remaster of it just came out on PlayStation 4. It was like the Kyle Katarn, is it? And you steal the first level is you're stealing the Death Star plans and stuff. It's like Doom basically, but Star Wars. It's really cool.
Yeah. Any games on there, James, that jump out that you remember?
The only ones I've actually played are Twisted Metal, Tekken 3. It's a big one. Really enjoyed that. I've played a bit of Dark Forces. And
Command and Conquer. You must have played Command and
Conquer.
No,
not one for. I don't have a strategic mind, Peter.
No,
I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah. And then what's it called? Donkey Kong Country 2. I played a bit as well.
Okay.
Switch. So Chrono Trigger, I know, is one people love as well.
Die Hard 4 was Live Free or Die Hard. And
A Good Day to Die Hard.
Good Day to Die. Yeah. Phil's in Command and Conquer. Yeah, I loved Command and Conquer. Really did enjoy Command and Conquer. It was a good game. Interestingly, I wanted to put it on, but I thought, no, I'm breaking the rules of the show, because when I saw that Star Wars Dark Forces, it reminded us of another series of Star Wars games, TIE Fighter and X-Wing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever played them, Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal. They absolutely were amazing. But I think they were 93. But yeah, some cracking games. Okay, we're going to end, chaps, because we've gone over our hour, but we're going to end on a bit of food news. Going to test your knowledge. M&M's. M&M's in 1995. What colour was introduced in 95?
I want to say purple. Is it purple M&M's?
Purple? Is there
Is
a
it
purple
purple
M&M?
I
Is there a
think
purple M&M? I think you've just created your own M&M, James. There's no purple.
Green?
No.
Yellow?
No.
Orange?
Red.
No.
Red.
Is it on the screen?
Yes. You've done every other colour but it, yeah.
Brown?
No. Well done. It's
orange,
literally
red, yellow,
Red.
blue.
Blue. Well done, James. First time. Phil was there 10 minutes ago, man. Blue. Yeah, so M&M's introduced the blue M&M, gave it its own character.
The best M&M, I think.
The best M&M. And then I think they retired the tan M&M later that year.
Is there a tan M&M?
Yeah.
I have to look that up.
Refreshment time, luckily for us, 95, Starbucks rolled out their world-famous Frappuccino. It had 2 flavors, coffee and mocha. I like a mocha. I do like a mocha.
I love the mocha too. Yeah.
Connie was there as well. Blue. Everyone was there apart from
us.
You. Yeah.
I want to check the tape. I might have said blue already, and you didn't listen.
No, you didn't. Okay,
we'll
so yeah, M&M's brought out the blue M&M. Now. We do love it. We love a bit of Trump, don't we? I mean, all the rest of it. Any idea why he's linked to pizza?
He did an ad for Pizza Hut.
Yep. So he did an advert for Pizza Hut. He says he saved Pizza Hut, by the way, just as you would. As you would. But do you know what the ad was for? What was introduced in 95?
Stuffed crust, cheese crust.
The world was given the stuffed crust pizza, which I friggin' hate because it goes hard when it gets cold.
It's hit and miss. I've had some amazing ones and bad ones, but also it's not good. You're right, it's not good cold. You got not much time to eat that shit before once it's cut open.
Phil's saying, "What's a mocha? It's a mix of coffee and hot chocolate." Nice. Connie's there. Connie is there. He's chocolate and coffee. Leon can't even escape that orange batter. Yeah. And Phil's quite right. I'm mourning that the stuffed crust gets a bit chewy when it's cold. Just don't let it get cold. You know what I mean? Just eat it. Eat it.
Eat it all.
Yeah. I used to manage Pizza Hut. Made the best stuffed crusts. I'm partial to a Pizza Hut buffet where you can eat as much pizza as you can physically manage.
We don't have that here anymore, but I used to love that when I was younger. Yeah. I used to so good.
Connie, I never had a stuffed crust pizza. I don't really rate Pizza Hut, if I'm honest. I only go when it's on offer. Okay, so yeah, Trump saved Pizza Hut by doing an advert for them, introducing the stuffed crust. Now, next, Ephraim. I'm going to come to you, Ephraim, and I want you to tell us what this next food item is. All right?
It looks like a burrito, kind of, or a chimichanga.
Not far. James?
A Hot Pocket?
No. Phil's straight there. Phil knows he's grub.
That
is. Do you know when you came to see what Ephraim, we got your fish and chips? Do you know the batter on the fish? Crunchy batter, yeah. That's that, but with a Mars bar.
Well,
inside.
no, a Milky Way
deep
bar.
fried Mars bar.
That came out in 95?
Well, so there's a bit of controversy about this. So there's a guy claims he invented it 2 years earlier, but it kind of hit the national press in 95 and became a bit of a big news cycle thing. Everybody was talking about it and about how appalling it was and stuff like that. Truth is, it didn't taste bad.
I tried one of these a couple of years ago for the first time. I thought it was awful. I thought it was terrible. I was really excited because I went into a chip for that. Oh, they do a battered Mars bar. I got it. Terrible. Just gross.
I had battered cheesecake when I went to Florida, and that was pretty nice.
I can imagine that being like if you use like a almost like a pancake kind of batter on it, or something like a thin one. That could be nice.
So basically, it's a candy bar for a chocolate and toffee candy bar encased in batter and then deep fried. So
yeah, we do a lot of deep fries here. When I go to a county fair here in San Diego in the summertime, and you know they have all those kiosks, and just almost everyone has battered everything on there. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, poor Scotland got a lot of.
They do battered frozen pizza. That's the thing there, with vinegar.
Well.
It's disgusting.
Fuzzy lost 4 followers today, calling Trump on IG. True story. I lost a few followers yesterday, Fuzzy, because I put a picture up on an inauguration day of I nicked the boys image that they've done of Homelander walking up the garden of the White House. I felt it was appropriate. Lots of people are jumping straight in. Is that deep fried Mars bar? It doesn't look very appetizing, does it?
No.
It doesn't look appetizing.
The picture doesn't do it justice.
Fuzzy saying it was invented just down the road from him. All right, interesting, Fuzzy. Phil should try a battered cream egg. Now, I am partial to a cream egg.
I love a cream egg.
Do
you have those, Stefan?
Say that again?
Do you have a cream egg? So it's like a chocolate, like it's a chocolate egg.
Okay.
And inside it, there's kind of like a
fondue, isn't it?
Vanilla kind of paste with like it looks like you bite into it. It looks like an egg, like the inside.
Yeah, and we have them here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For Easter time, like.
Not sure if I'd batter one. Not sure if I'd batter one.
Because Cadbury's here that do them, isn't it? Cadbury cream.
Yeah, Cadbury's. Yeah. Did you guys go over television? We did at the start of the show, Anton. We did at the start of the show, mate. I've never tried one. The idea of it scares us. Yeah, I'd give it a go. I mean, I've tried one, and I can't say I finished the full thing. Hi, Rod. Nice to see you, mate. I hope you're well. This is making him peckish.
Rod, you got problems if you're watching this bloody picture and your appetite's striking you.
Fuzzy, we batter entire burgers.
I like battered burgers. I will. A battered burger in a bun is a nice.
What do you mean? You mean like a full burger, and you just batter the full burger?
No, it's a battered. You had a battered burger.
Yeah, like a battered sausage. I don't like them either.
But a burger, right? But they do that.
But the Fuzzy saying here, the bun and everything. We batter
I
an
wouldn't do the
entire
bun,
burger.
You got it. They battered the burger patty, and then they dress it like a burger with so it's like a.
Connie, I thought Geordies would batter more. Shocked at the lack of batter in here. I know. Well,
I love a good battered sausage, man. I'm telling you.
I don't like battered sausage.
Battered sausages.
Tell you what's
depends on where you
worse.
get it.
If you ever go to like a fair or something, and they've got tins of burgers, and they just kind of put them in hot water to reheat them, and it's like a paste.
What? Where are you getting your burgers from, man?
Yeah.
What fairs are you going to?
At fairs, have you guys ever had a donut burger?
No.
Is this where it's literally donuts as the bun?
Yes.
I think they opened somewhere here recently that does that, and I'm like, I want to try that one. That sounds good. Yeah.
What do you mean Easter, James? The cream eggs were at the shops the same time. Easter eggs on the shelves.
I was like, just for I know that they're here all the time. But just for maybe it's an Easter thing in America.
Yeah, it is more of an Easter thing. You're right.
Yeah.
So the last food product that was launched in 1995. Any idea what this is, guys? James, you should be.
Is it is it like a vegan meat alternative?
This is tofurkey.
Yes,
tofurkey.
I have had this, and it is not bad.
I can't say it looks appealing.
When did you have it, James?
I used to be vegan.
I mean, you didn't have this. Looks pretty bad. I think the first version probably didn't taste that good. Maybe now it tastes better because
honestly, none of the meat alternatives I had were like horrendously bad. It's not like turkey. There was one turkey thing I had that was like turkey.
Yeah,
but everything else was just like it's just another protein thing.
Yeah.
Connie's saying tofurkey is actually not that bad.
Not bad.
Fuzzy says bollocks. Vegan Keegan.
Nobody ever said it like that to me. Tofu's good too, man. I like tofu.
I had it for Christmas a couple of years ago during my vegan era, and it was actually pretty enjoyable. Tofu's not, James. You're lying. Tofu's just got no flavor.
You're just not doing. You're just not. No, yeah, but nothing has flavor, man. You got to put flavor in it.
Nothing has flavour.
You gotta marinate that shit, man.
Has
you gotta marinate that shit.
You're telling me a steak doesn't have flavour?
Well, you have to put
a lamb chop doesn't have flavour.
If you bloody fry mince, yeah, and you don't put any salt and pepper in it, it tastes like shit. It tastes like absolute shit. You gotta put some seasonings in it, man. So you gotta season your tofu.
Full of shit.
When have you eaten bloody tofu? You wouldn't know
I've had
tofu
a few
if it
times.
smacked you in the face.
They've done it at a few restaurants, a few workplaces.
Oh, sorry, your little
and
bloody smear of a
nice.
tofu paste on the side of a bloody escargot or whatever you're eating.
What?
Yeah, you and your little taster menus with your mango habanero coulis or whatever shit you're fucking eating.
I mean, you're just saying shit now. What are you saying? What are you talking about?
Was it in your little fancy taster menu thing?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was work. They did it. It did nothing for us. It was just no flavour for me. But yeah, this came out. Good meat alternative for those that are into that kind of stuff. I've had vegan.
You should try smoked tofu.
That's what Connie's saying. Smoked tofu.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. This doesn't look appealing to me. I have to say, it doesn't look appealing at all.
If it's Christmas and you're vegan, man, it's a good option.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just have a prawn cocktail. Can vegans eat prawns? Vegans eat.
No, the vegans can't eat
fish?
prawns.
No.
Or cocktail sauce because there's. Also, you're a lunatic for having a starter.
What's in cocktail sauce?
I've had a few.
What's in cocktail sauce?
Mayonnaise.
Oh, the eggs.
Yeah. You're also. I've had this conversation with a few people that are judging you because you have a starter at Christmas, and people think that's weird. It is weird. I think it's weird too.
Yeah, but what?
You don't have a starter on your Christmas dinner. You don't eat a starter. You just have your main meal. Like you don't have a little prawn cocktail.
What's interesting about this is you've just said you've discussed this with people. So you've been sat somewhere. Hey, excuse me, gentlemen. Peter has a starter for his.
Yeah, but you have to. No, I just asked people. I was curious because it really struck a chord with me. I was like,
let's
Appetizer,
ask.
you mean?
See again, Nefren?
Like appetizer for the beginning?
Yeah, but for Christmas dinner.
Uh-huh.
Would you at Thanksgiving? Would you have something before your meal? Do you have an appetizer? No, exactly.
So Connie's saying we have a starter. I have a starter at Christmas. Well,
you're a savage, Connie. Is what I think.
Phil has soup to start or a melon. Yeah, I like melon and a nice Parma ham. Fuzzy's pointing out you haven't got wallpaper, so behave.
I don't know if that's our house.
Of course, people have starters.
People don't have starters at Christmas.
We have vegetable soup or prawn cocktail. Prawn cocktail.
You're using a valuable, real estate.
So again, James, you've made a brief kind of flashing comment here based on you believe that because you do it, it's right, and it's not.
Everyone I've spoken to thinks it's
Irish.
Weird.
I mean, everybody in the chat here is disagreeing. So
I don't care. Yeah. They're not real people.
Let's do another. When we do ask us anything question, that can be the. Do you not have dessert at Christmas?
Yeah, but you have two stomachs. Do you know what I mean? Like you got your main stomach and then your dessert stomach. Like it doesn't matter how full. If you could be like about to throw up, you've eaten so much, and you can still have a bowl of ice cream. It's true, isn't it?
Phil, you're correct. We have a selection of 2 starters to choose from, 3 mains, as in different meats to pick from, and a number of different desserts to select. You're quite right, Phil. You're quite right. Anyway, chaps, let's move on. So that was another interesting show. That was 1995. We need to decide which year we're going to do next because we've done our years. In the chat, give one interesting year and we'll pick a year and we'll do them. Just before we'll wrap up, guys, just to mention a few things. Efren, what's happening over on your channel?
Last Saturday, I did my show Up on Comics with my cousin, Momo Comics, where we just talk about entertainment, comic books. We try to do it every 2 weeks. And I'm trying to get together with actually James and Peter to do another our videos that we do about asking each other 3 questions that we don't know what we're going to tell each other. We hopefully do that in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, that sounds good. And I watched your show on Saturday, and it was really, really good. Everyone, I really enjoyed it, mate. Good stuff. James, what have we got coming up on One Good Scare?
I still haven't gone around to doing the Nosferatu review. We have that recorded, so we'll try and get that up in the next couple of days. We'll have Dog Soldiers. I'll be right back. We did One Good Scare live on Friday, so we talked about all the news. We also did non-spoiler for Nosferatu in that. So if you want to see our thoughts, our brief thoughts on the movie, that's there. And then we'll probably have a Wolfman review up. Both of us have to. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Peter.
Not yet. No.
I'll be seeing that in the next few days. Peter probably will as well. So we'll have a review of that up in the next week-ish, probably as well. So
Good stuff. Guys in the chat, we've gone relatively modern tonight in 1995. So let's go older. We'll go with Fuzzy 82. So let's go 1982 for the next one, guys. I'll just write that down so I don't forget. And then, guys, we're going to slowly work our way through everybody's suggestions. So we'll do 82 next time. So, yeah,
Sweet.
So good stuff. Lots going on over on One Good Scare. I had a live show last week as well. So please go check that out on the Rewind. Some interesting stuff. Killer Comic Show is taking a bit of a hiatus at the moment. I didn't go with Fuzzy with Connie's so she said just
it's too close. It's too close. You can't do 290 somethings 4 years apart. Yeah.
Connie, here's the deal. When we do 1997, if you want, you can come on the show. And if anybody else wants to do that, when we do your year, you're more than welcome to come on the show and we'll talk to you about it. So yeah,
cool.
So Killer Comic Show is going to be on hiatus for a couple of weeks at least, and then we'll see what happens after that. Geek Week podcast, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit because I've joined that team on a Sunday. I've got 2 videos out at the moment. We've got Worst X Books, so please check that one out. I've got my 1/6 scale Beetlejuice figure came. That's an interesting figure. Go and have a look at that, see what you think of it. I'm not sure if it says Keaton to us, but yeah, that's out. This Friday's Pop Culture Playback is about this beauty of a TV show. Anybody know what that is?
Manimal?
Yeah, Manimal. Manimal.
I was
classic
Animorphs. Was what I was going to say.
Classic TV series about a doctor who can transform into any animal he wants. So yeah, well worth checking that out. That's coming out on Friday. I am on the show on Saturday night with the Grey Man, where we're doing cover slingers. The theme is axes, I think. So that's Saturday night, 7:00. Sunday night, Geek Week, the podcast. We're talking about all the geeky news. The guys are going to be into the London Toy Fair, and we're also going to be talking. The topic for the night is toys are just for kids. So debating that a little bit. And then next Tuesday, Comics and Toys. We're going to do a new show that I'm going to do at the last Tuesday of every month. So instead of doing kind of haul videos, I'm going to be doing this instead. So end of every month, we'll be showing off some of the things I picked up over the last month. So I've got my box here.
Is this just a you thing?
I'm probably going to be doing it. Phil's going to jump on, and Andy, and we'll see who else. So all just going over stuff. So if you've got stuff to show, more than welcome to jump on. So that will be next Tuesday's show. So lots and lots of stuff going on, and that's your whack. That's everything we've got going on. Anything to add, chaps, before we call it a night?
Best year ever.
1995 was a good year because James was born. Everything after that was kind of boring to me. So just
that's it. I think you must have felt it over in America, Efren. Just the second I popped out, like I feel like the world's a better place now.
Fuzzy's just saying Phil's videos are on fire. There absolutely are lots of great comic book content. So please do check that out. Guys, thank you so much to you guys on screen. It's always a pleasure. And thank you to everybody that has been in the chat. Always lovely seeing you all. Always good fun. I appreciate your support. Really do appreciate your support. With that, we'll call it a night. Thanks very much, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye.